So I just started blogging, and now vlogging. I guess you could say this is a vlog. I did this a while ago when I first became Christian. I started making videos on Instagram, on YouTube, just kind of teaching everything that I was taught from God. Um, a lot every day. I would wake up super early too and like make some videos, and um, people kind of thought I was crazy. They'd message me and be like, "What drugs are you on this time?" Or like, some people were making fun of me too. They'd call me names and tell me how I'm dreaming, and I don't know, just not supportive. But then there were a decent amount of people who were pretty supportive, and they would message and say like, "Hey, I love this. Keep it up." I even now have sometimes people like, "Hey, why'd you stop?" I stopped because, well, people were also coming to me with very personal questions, very deep questions that I felt I was not qualified to answer. I had only been Christian for like a month or less, maybe. Barely read any of the Bible. I was just teaching everything I learned on my way. So I didn't think I was able to answer these questions. But I would pray about it, and I think most of the time God would give me a pretty good answer. So I remember reading in James, um, and it says, "Not all should be teachers because they will be judged more strictly. Not everyone should be teachers." So I was like, okay, maybe it's not for me. I don't know. I'm just going to take a break. I'll pray about it, and we'll see what happens. Because I've listened to some pastors, and they all say that like, oh, God specifically told me to teach, or I know for sure that this is what I need to be doing. So I took a break. This is probably like freshman year of college. Sophomore year of college, I go to Pepperdine. I'm over there, and it's on my heart again. So I'm praying about it almost every day for like a month. And I remember some friends invited me to this retreat in San Diego. So I went, and the first night, the guy who was mentoring me at the time, he was speaking. And his message was a lot about like names in the Bible and what they mean. Kind of like not a typical sermon. So we go back to our hotels after, and one of the guys in my hotel room asked me, "What does your name mean? Do you know what your name means?" I'm like, "No, I don't." So I looked it up, and Diego is my name, by the way, means teaching. It's from a Greek word, diaga or something like that, means teaching, or to teach or teach. So after praying for it for a while, I was confident that this is God telling me this is what I need to do, just reassuring me, answering my question of should I teach. So God said yes. So I went home, made a video very similar to this one, and then it kind of just fizzled out, and I stopped doing it. I don't know if it was volleyball was taking up a lot of my time in school, and a lot of things just going on. So I stopped. A few months later, we get sent home because of COVID. So I'm here at home. I have not much to do. I started doing it again. I started making videos, blogging again, and I I stopped again because I was thinking too much about what people would think. I was getting too into the likes and the followers, and trying to please people rather than share what God has taught me and trying to please God. And I just kind of ran out of content, and I think it's because my focus shifted to the wrong thing. So I stopped again. And recently I was reading in 1 Samuel chapter 15. Saul is instructed by Samuel, by God through Samuel. God tells him, go and destroy the Amalekites. Go destroy them, kill all the people and all the livestock. Leave nothing alive. Destroy everything. So Saul instructs his men to go, and they destroy all the Amorite people. But they leave the livestock so that they leave the best livestock so that they can sacrifice it to the Lord. Now this sounds, sorry, I don't know if you could hear that. This sounds like a good thing, right? It's for God. They're sacrificing to the Lord. In their minds, it was a good thing, but God was furious, and he told them, is it not better to be obedient than to sacrifice? God's saying, I'd rather you just listen to what I tell you to do than to give me sacrifices and offerings. So I was trying to relate that to my life, and I realized God told me to teach. But in my mind, I wasn't qualified. In my mind, I thought I should take a break and kind of learn a little bit more and get into the right headspace so that I can teach. But that's not, maybe that's what God told me. That's not what God told me specifically. He told me to teach. So now I'm blogging and doing this again, trying to be obedient, doing what he says, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like I should. Unless he tells me otherwise, I'm going to keep doing this. And hopefully, now that I have this revelation that I'm being obedient by teaching, I will continue to do this and not stop again, because I'm sure that's annoying. It's annoying for me and whoever's listening. So this is just the first video of many. If you have any questions, if you want any videos or you want me to answer any questions, please just comment them or message me. I'd love to tackle a lot of questions. Okay.